Welcome to the Holiday Podcast, where we sit over some fresh-baked challah bread every Friday afternoon here at my dining room table. I'm your host, Tammy, priest, a Jewish follower of Jesus, and it's great to be with you again this week as we take another look at the intersection of the old and the new. Well, I'm sitting here at my dining room table all bundled up because we have ice on the ground and snow in the forecast for the weekend, which is usually what happens in February in North Carolina. And February's almost here, which is really hard to believe. It seems like just yesterday that we were celebrating Christmas, wasn't it? But also like forever ago. Anyway, on days like today, I'm looking forward to springtime when the trees are blossoming and everything starts turning green again. And actually, there was a Jewish holiday yesterday that actually celebrates and anticipates the coming spring and even the harvest right now. It's called Tu B'Shvat, which is simply the 15th of Shavat, which is the Jewish Old Testament month that we're in right now. A lot of people liken Tu B'Shvat to an Old Testament New Year's for trees, kind of like Arbor Day. But it's really a lot deeper than that. So in a nutshell, Tu B'Shvat is considered the day in the agricultural cycle when trees begin their fruit-bearing period. And so that's the day when everyone was supposed to examine all their fruit trees, which in Israel included things like, grapes and almonds and olives, and dates, figs, and pomegranates. If you watched or listened last week, you know that I love pomegranates. Anyway, on the 15th of Shavat, people would do two things. First, they would take note of the trees that were still younger than 3 years old. Any fruit that ripened from these baby trees was to be discarded. It was too young to be really good fruit. But the rest of the trees were marked on Tu B'Shvat. And any fruit that came from a marked tree was counted towards that family's tithe to bring to Jerusalem. Which means that for other crops, the tithe was usually determined at the harvest. These trees were marked for the tithe at the beginning of the growing cycle. So what really speaks to me about that is that even as trees were just starting to bud, everything that would figure into their first fruits was marked. People were dedicating their first and best to God without even knowing what the rest of the season would bring or not bring. It was this ultimate demonstration of trust for people living in an agrarian society because they were committing their very best to God, no matter what the impact of feast or famine would look like in the year ahead. Which actually is kind of a picture of 2020, right? We had no idea as we were making plans a year ago what the rest of the year would look like. But it also really makes me think about Christmas. So yes, I am bringing this whole thing back around to Christmas. Because just over a month ago, we were celebrating the fact that God gave his very best gift to us, to the world. The creator, the one who made all these trees we're talking about and who made each one of us, gave himself to his creation. One way to look at it is that on Christmas, the Father gave us his best. And then on Easter, the Son gave us his best, which was really the whole purpose, the whole mission of Christmas, right? On the cross, the Messiah took our very worst, and gave us his very best in return. Perfect holiness and righteousness and a personal, intimate relationship with the God of everything. And so as I was reflecting on Tu B'Shvat yesterday and what it means to give our best, our first fruits really to God, I decided that I wanted to encourage you and me to focus on giving God our very best, my first fruits, not just a financial tithe, but the freshest time of my day, my best effort in everything, my most focused thoughts, And in this way, maybe just like the ancient tithe of the trees, these parts of my life will be dedicated to God and can bless others, just like those fruits were given to bless people in His name. So if you want to join me in this challenge, this first fruit thinking about your day and about your year, these are some of the questions that I ask myself that you could ask yourself. So I first asked myself to think about what areas of my life I am already offering God my first fruits, because I can praise Him for that and be encouraged. And then I ask, what areas of my life am I holding back, giving God my leftovers? This could be my time, my finances, words of kindness towards other people, any of the fruits of the Spirit, right? Really anything God puts on my mind or your mind as we sit quietly and humbly before Him. And in this way, as we ask God to reveal these areas where we can grow, just like the trees we're celebrating on Tu B'Shvat, we can increase and grow in generosity toward our Messiah, who has given me so very much, His whole self, not just a tithe, not 10%, but His whole entire self. He's the vine, the branch, the tree of life in the flesh, really, which is a perfect image to picture as we're celebrating this Old Testament New Year for trees. That we harvest blessings upon blessings from the vine, no matter what kind of season or year it is. And that gives us all we need to honor Him with our best too. So I look forward to being with you here again next week, and we'll be almost a week into February. But for now, I wish you today a fruitful and restful holiday.